Hello my fellow gamers and welcome once again to Perafilozof City Skylines videos. Today I'm going to continue building up the city in which I plan to reach 1 million population. In the previous episodes I have started expanding into the new tile. This is the old tile and of course always greeted with some pop-ups of abandoned or burned down buildings. This one is abandoned I believe because nobody collected the dead people. I will get back to you with that in just a moment. In this area I have noticed that I have screwed up the placement of zones because I believe I made too many residential zones compared to the zones where they are supposed to work, and I've reached this point where from now on I cannot get any more residential zones because I do not have jobs for them. I do not have any more jobs because I cannot make any more zones because I haven't even managed to make this zone as residential. So what I need to do is reduce the amount of residential zones. So this here, 4 of them is okay, but over here there are 6 and that will have to be redone. I both need the offices and the high density commercials, so I will do this. Pause the game, then unzone this much, increase double the amount of high density commercial, and then instead of the residential have the offices. I will do this in several places. I have done this now here, then the next area will be over here, but changing some of the residential for high density commercial and offices is not the only thing that I have to do. One thing that I have noticed next to all the other things is that these areas here all import the goods, and I do need to reduce the amount of the buildings that import goods. In order to do that, I would need to have my own industry who would produce goods. For that, I will have to build a new zone here that is going to house just the generic industry which produces goods, and this goes hand in hand with increasing employment, because without having a lot of my sims employed, no new sims will want to move in. So this will require some extra streets for extra zones, and these extra zones are going to become generic industry. Of course they are going to pollute, and I will have to see how I'm going to keep zoning after that pollution is here. These zones here will suffer from the pollution, but there is nothing I can help them with that. This is 4, this is an additional 4. So this is all going to be generic industry producing goods for the commercial areas. But that is not all. Not only will I have to have this as the generic industry zone, but I will also have to use a district tool called the industrial space planning, because I need to increase the amount of goods that they are producing, and not only in this new area, but in some of the old areas in this part of the city as well. Industrial space planning, industrial space planning. It is going to cost me a little bit, but it is going to increase the amount of goods. Over here I need to disable some of the policies that I have previously placed, because if I were to keep using big business in all of these areas, I would soon have a problem with goods. So few of these areas will have to have their policies disabled until I have the industry up and running to produce more goods. This will also lead to more sims moving in as more jobs become available, and they will not move in if the jobs are not there for them. So this area here will need to be moved in with more sims. Another thing that I have noticed is that my traffic has become horrible. I kid you not, look at this. So all the way from here up to here, but that's not all of it, up to here, it's crawling. It's definitely crawling, and they are despawning. So this is definitely not working out as it should, and I definitely need to switch some of these streets around. Another problem, as if that wasn't enough, is that I don't have good connections between these parts of the city because by design they are not supposed to be connected like that, but the service vehicles do not care. And you can see here abandoned buildings, more skulls or corpses not being picked up. And do you know why that is so? It is because the vehicle that's supposed to pick them up, and that vehicle, for example, comes from this, wait, that would be the healthcare, I need the death care, the cemetery right over here. Instead of its vehicles picking up the dead people that are here, its horses are probably somewhere around here, and then of course it can get back here because of this huge jam, which is producing the problem of abandoned buildings because the dead people are not being picked up. So what I need to do is first get some streets to connect these areas, but also disable the industry vehicles who would love to jump at the chance to get through these areas more quickly without having to go all the way around. So what I need to do is use a one-way that will start here and cross to over here. And this would mean that any vehicles that start from here and want to come over here can use the one-way, and they can go back here. Well, we'll see about that a little bit later. For now, I just need a street for them to get there. Now that I've disabled this street, this one has to come back so that this building has road access. It should have some more road access, but that will need to be addressed a little bit later. So like I said, they are gonna come in through here, but how are they gonna come back? Well, that will require a lot more changes. For example, I've noticed that the way that I've placed this street here is that the vehicles who get off here have to actually switch the lanes to get into the third lane to go through here. So a better idea would be for the vehicles to stay in this lane when they want to come off this highway and go to the train terminal. So I need to disable, bulldoze this and create a new way for them to come off the highway. That would be to here, then to here, and then they go down here. But that's only a portion of the problems that I have and that I need to fix. Next up, I do have so much forestry industry, and when I look here at my export, all I'm exporting is pretty much forestry products and agricultural products, while I'm importing mostly goods. Now I am going to fix that a little bit by having more goods production industry here, and by the policies that I have instigated for these areas to create more goods. But I will end up needing more of the goods production industry. So this area here will have to be changed from an agriculture area into a goods producing area. And that should be taken care by itself. No need for me to do anything about it afterwards. This area here, they are also agriculture. I guess I can leave them because I do not want any more pollution to go to these areas. Now, as I said, the traffic needs a big fix. So far I have gotten only a few ideas how to actually fix this, and the biggest problem seems to be here because of these lane changes and just using the one lane that is provided by this interchange. So the interchange is actually the thing that's gonna be have to change the most. Here I did forget to add one more street to have these guys with another road for access to the incinerators. More abandoned buildings, yes, for now that will keep happening until I fix what's going on with the traffic at the moment. Now, like I said, this will have to have a lot of changes done to it, and also these areas here some changes as well. very close to what I did here will have to be done on a larger scale. Now one more thing, because I don't want to lose too many buildings over here because of the dead people, or I will get a cemetery here to help with cleaning up the dead folks. And now over here I can start redoing the traffic. First of all, I will need an off-ramp from this road over here onto this road over here to connect these two areas. So this will have to go off, then be connected like this. Then this actually has to go up as well. This also has to be connected a little bit further away, like for example here. There we go. And now from here I need a connection into here. While over here it needs to go over. So page up, page down, and connection. Okay, this just needs to be turned into the other side. And now we are back in business. But that's not all. On this side there has to be a change as well. There has to be a way for them to go from this street over here into this one. Then from this one into here. And there also needs to be a connection from here into here. And now the big one. This will require a lot of re-engineering. Alright, so that would be the new design for this area, and it may be very ugly. I mean, I could make it a little bit nicer. It doesn't really have to be this ugly. I do have the money, so why not rebuild it to be a little bit better looking than like this. There, much better. Alright, so is this design actually going to work out? Well, I will let you be the judges for yourselves. You do remember how bad the traffic was, and you can still see how bad it is over here especially, and up here where you can see this column that goes on almost forever. Well, what if I were to tell you that very soon none of that would provide any sort of a problem, and the traffic would be as if I had 10,000 people living here, no, 5,000 people living here, and not 40,000. You'll see. Just keep watching. Now, what else was it that I needed to take care of? I believe I needed to expand the water here. I should go to speed 2. I keep forgetting that I need to get to 1 million population before I get too old. Alright, road up here so that here I can build the new incinerator, as I will very soon start needing it. I will need to draw its power. That would be from here to here. the demand has gone up only for more commercial areas. In here I did not do the same thing I did over here, so that should be done before they keep on growing. So over here, although I will have far more industry here, so might not have to do the same thing I did over here. I could just, for example, increase an extra row of offices, although I don't have industrial demand, I have commercial demand. So yeah, let's go along and destroy the offices. Instead have high density commercial. And the offices can grow a bit later. For now, I need the industry to be the generic industry producing goods. Offices can come up a bit later. These areas should have power. Yes, they do. And do they have park coverage? Well, not exactly. Would need to add a new park here if I want my coverage to keep expanding. Let's see if I were to put it here. That way. There we go. That should help with the offices and the commercial areas to have better leisure activities coverage. I will need probably new parks over here as well to get the influence further up through here. Now that that's done, let's take a look at the traffic. What was this? What? Oh, nothing. Is that so? What's up with here? Didn't we used to have big traffic jams here? What? What is this? What? No traffic? No traffic over here? Nothing. Nada. Zero. Practically 0.1%. So what happened? Better streets happened. There is still some traffic here. This will clear up as well as they finally get out from this part of the city, because they haven't yet for the first time. These are still vehicles that probably got stopped here a long time ago, and this will soon clear up as well as everything else has cleared up. On this side, no problems whatsoever. I do not even have to switch any more industry for offices in these areas. Now I have lost some more housing because of, let's see, what exactly? Yeah, collecting dead people. That is still because all the hearses were stuck in traffic, and now that the traffic is far better than it used to be, this will not happen again. Just need to bulldoze the ones that are already pretty mad at me and have left the city because their dead were not being picked up. Alright, and did I not tell you that this would clear up as well? It has cleared up as well. Let's add just a little bit more commercial in places that I see that are good enough for it. Over here. A little bit more over here. I think I just saw a spot here as well. And here, and I believe I had a few more spots here. Now I'm just adding buildings that require workers because I probably still have high unemployment, yeah, 4%, and I'm just now starting to get some residential demand again. These areas have filled up their residential areas, excellent, so now I can add some more buildings here. Whoops, I just missed this area by a little bit. This zone, that zone here, better. This is the high density commercial, that's good. These are how many? 1, 2, 3, 4 areas of residentials. So that means at least one of these needs to be offices, and then depending on how many people I have and how many jobs do I need, I will fill this area with more offices or more residential areas, depending on that. This area here will have to stay as generic industry because I need to reduce the imports I think I already have reduced the import a little bit, but and you can see that a lot of these buildings are now no more purple. They used to be all purple, now they are not. Is this pink or purple? Somewhere in between, I believe. In any event, there are still buildings who say not enough goods, so I will have to, for now, turn off the policies for big business in every area that I have it on until I get this industry that produces goods up and running, and then when I have more goods once again, I will turn on the big business benefactor and have more taxes because I will have the goods for them to sell. So I was right in one of my previous episodes when I said that there is a high probability that turning on big business benefactor, the policy which makes commercial sell twice as fast, will mean that they will require goods twice as much. And if you do not have the goods being produced, they have to be imported, but the import takes a while to be done, also puts a strain on your traffic, so it's better to produce those goods locally. Why did you go abandoned? Not enough? Seriously? Not enough workers? Really? Okay, that answers the question of whether or not this should be residential or something else. Alright, I should probably check how these areas are gonna look like now. Yeah, these offices need to be zoned a little bit differently. Still not enough workers, should be enough soon. Alright, and I did change a lot of these zones here, so I should change them in the district tool as well. Much better. That should be all of them. I may have a few more buildings go abandoned until the whole deal with goods is settled and more industry comes up here. I do have unemployment at 3%, so soon I will be able to get more housing filled up as well. How's my education in this area? Let's see how many schools. Just one elementary. Alright. The high school, 2 of them now, so this is kinda alright for now. Yes, like I said, it is expected to have more go abandoned because of the lack of goods to sell, which should be fixed up soon as the industry goes up and starts producing those goods. That's a lot of commercial buildings going abandoned. It seems they only sell goods and that's it. The industry has the ability to process, the generic industry, to process the products from the agriculture industry and whatever they import as for ore and oil, but those are just goods that need to be created for the commercial areas to sell. Alright, the landfill site can be bulldozed. I could probably use this area here for more industry, but not right now. How about the power? Whoa, I was just about to run out of power. Good thing I checked. How's with the water? Still good capacity for water. The pollution is still far away from the intake pipes, so that's okay. The traffic is, well, I would say close to perfection now. So that disaster has been averted. Even the service vehicles are now operating far better than before because they are able to go through the parts of the city far faster than they were before. So even though a service vehicle that starts its journey from here to go and do something here, it won't be stuck in traffic and it will be able to do what's necessary and go back to its own area before something burns down in its area. Well, I will probably have to play this whack-a-mole for a while with these abandoned buildings until everything settles. And once everything settles, I will be able to keep expanding into the next area. Just need to hit the right ratio of industrial, commercial and residential for the high density. I am having a slight issue because this area is low density and it's throwing off some of these readouts and the RCI demand. It would be much easier if every part of the city would be exactly the same, but then again, that would be probably too easy. Alright, please stop going abandoned. I'll get you your goods. Anyway, I believe this should be enough for this episode. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you again soon.